And we're live. We're on time. I think 2 weeks in a row. No, I don't think we made it last week. Harleydesigns. Yeah. What is this? This is the 11th or 12th time. How is that possible? I know. It's time doesn't exist anymore. I think we've all. But yes, it's been another. It's starting to get very hot here. And yeah, So I'm definitely. I have not been out to play with toy trucks in a very long time. And I'm yeah, I'm itching. Well, that must be on you. I, this is again Matt and I trying new technology on his end only this time. It has been me in the past who struggled with this over and over. Matt, if you might just want to start, or you might just want to stop your stream and restart your stream on OBS. That could be. You try it out. But you try that. I did. I picked up and flashed my SCX24, my newest addition to the garage, and I'm kind of thinking that I might go into a full Woods Runner type design for it, and just completely redo try and dive in and enjoy a mini or a micro. Which is this micro, right? Right, minis. Yeah, 1/18th mini. So we'll see. I think it'll be fun though. Okay. Yeah. Everyone agrees that it's good on my side.
Hey.
I've had many people tell me that. That's been a common comment on Instagram by people who don't like me. I talk like a robot. No personality. Right. That I haven't taught all the ways of a PC yet, I guess. So many things that you're having to try. Yes. Well, this is great. Matt's video quality is bad. I have all of. So now, if you're watching on my side, there's a whole thing with how we have to do these, but we'll get there. So anyway, while Matt is figuring, yes, but the SCX24, I'm screens in our seat. Actually, they're probably actually thinking about it. A lot of my problems with cars that aren't trail trucks or crawlers is because unless I have like a project I'm diving into on one of these, I don't really just like get into them and like them that much. So I think with this, you know, the min or micros, whatever you want to call this, in the past has always just been I got it and I drove it and I was just like, okay, well that's only like that was kind of fun, and I didn't have any ideas for builds. So now I think that having an idea and going to jump right into it, I think that I could actually enjoy it. Hey Josh, that D110 looks good. Yes, you sound the same to me, on my end at least. Travis talking about the D110 behind me that I believe he now owns. And I need to do some artwork on that. I could do that tonight during this even. Yes, you've changed one. There you go. Click on my stream.
Come on.
And then go back to his and hit like after he gets it fixed.
Which may or may not happen. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm back. Now listen to me.
Right.
Great. Fixed. Yes. Success.
Fixed.
I
now
did
you can
it.
go like his stream. That's okay. Now.
Please. Thank you. Like the stream, because that was infuriating. You know what I think it was? I had my speakers playing the audio coming out of Skype, and then I also had it in here. So I think it was probably all just like gobbledygook for everyone.
Radio Shack is closed, Matt. Sorry.
Man, what am I going to do? Stop dating yourself. Do you guys still have Radio Shack in America? Because we haven't had it here for
I think that
decades.
They're technically gone, but I think that there's also like some that are still within other stores that are still called a radio. I miss Radio Shack so much.
It's that was a cool place. We had a lot of fun in there when I was a kid. I think we've talked about this on live streams in the past.
I know. I'm sure, but
yeah. There was always something cool going on there, for sure.
Yes, that's so. Now,
right.
Now Matt's frustration level during this whole was
down.
what I had to deal with so many times, and then I would start the stream, and I'd already be so mad and flustered.
Right. The biggest difference between your problems and mine is that you couldn't get your computer to work. That was was always a bigger problem. The Skype part would never work. It was always a pain. For me, it's just as simple as the audio.
Right.
Now I can talk about the fantastic PC that I'm running too.
Right. Matt and I have both been. I've been a computer, a peripheral fan of PC building for a while, and then I kind of dove into it the last couple of years.
Yes.
And now finally got Matt into it as well.
It's true. It's mostly, I was going to say thanks to you, but there's
right.
It's the learning curve is definitely a lot larger coming from a Mac to a PC.
Yeah,
there's a lot of differences, of course, the software and the OS and the fact that I had to build this computer. I mean, I guess you can go into a store and still purchase a computer. Is it cool to call it a computer?
Right. You gotta call it a machine or a rig.
A PC, a rig. Battle station. It's a battle station. Yeah. So there was definitely a lot of learning and messaging Josh throughout this process to make sure I wasn't going to break anything. But now it's up and running, and it's definitely looking a lot better. I'm a little dark. I got to work on the camera and how this software interprets the data that's coming out of it. But overall, the frame rate's way higher. I'm at 60 FPS, not dropping frames, good high bit rate. Everything looks pretty awesome. Like I'm looking over. It's a little bit strange because I'm here,
right,
and my monitor is over here. So I'm gonna have to figure out a good way of getting this all oriented. This is something we were talking about,
right?
do I continue to do streams and such in here, or do I move to a whole new space in the house? And I loosely broached it with the wife just to kind of plant the seed.
Feel it out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Even if it was only a streaming setup where you wouldn't need something as invasive.
Right.
An editing / streaming room.
Yeah, exactly.
You could do it just fine.
Right. And then, I could just put a couple trucks on some shelves or something behind, myself. Right. And then it would still be the same kind of room.
One of my favorite comment here from Andy, that's sort of fast. He says, Radio Shack, my favorite store. I spent $3.99 a year at. That was probably true. Like, it was always the store that I went to when I needed a roll of solder. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And I was out of everything else, and it was just like, oh, well, I can just go.
I need a capacitor.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I need a 1,000 ohm capacitor.
Right. The super important stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That you never, ever needed.
Yeah.
But, yes, it definitely just...
I can't remember if I put the word scalar on the bag. I think I did.
Oh, my God. See, it needs to be able to have, like, some print on the inside as well, like the secret flap.
Right. Yeah. That would be nice if they offered that, but not an option. Yet. Who knows that... I may be making some things. Yeah, it is a little dark, right? So let's just crank that a bit. There we go. Ooh, now I look super hot.
Did you ever do any of the Xmod stuff that Radio Shack had?
No. Yes? I don't know. It doesn't sound familiar.
It was not this scale, but a small scale car that you could get, and then they offered a ton of upgrades with bodies and wheels, tires. It was all like AA battery based, but
right.
They came with like a little carrying case, and they were kind of cool.
Awesome. Yeah, Xmod sounds familiar though. Like, it was a micro scale or small scale stuff. Yeah.
Micro scale for sure.
I think that was it was big on RCC a number of years ago. I remember that, like, it has its own sub forum and everything too. I think.
No, I think
feel like it does.
That was a different one.
Okay.
But regardless, Proline by the Fire. Have you decided? Are you making that trip or thinking about making that trip?
It's they're scheduling that one for October, right?
Correct.
It's all going to depend on travel restrictions.
Oh,
because if
gotcha.
I can't get on a plane, or if I can't travel for leisure, then no, I won't be coming. But the plan is to come. Yeah.
Gotcha. So that is the plan at this point, at least.
That is the plan, at least for right now. Yes.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean,
I'm really at the mercy of the government on this one.
So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I just didn't know. I know before you hadn't 100% planned on.
No, that's true. I was a little bit on the fence, but I think now I'm pretty much. I've decided that I would like to go to that. I would like to go to there.
Good. Yeah. Good enough. That's. I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully, everything restriction wise isn't an issue for anybody. But
yeah. I think it's something we're going to have to play by ear, right? I mean, who really knows at this point? Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
I mean, there's not a lot I was just thinking we've got the summer is more or less here. It's getting stupid hot out. It's all of that. This was normally a time when I would like to be getting out more, and I just haven't yet, but hopefully plan to soon.
Yep.
And then, we've got some projects that hopefully we can get off the ground here soon.
Yes, that would be nice.
They will stay on the ground this time. The project will be on the ground, but
it's not going to go off the ground.
Either way, but
it might go off the road.
Right.
Or it'll stay on the road. I don't know. It's not going in the air.
Right. I do think that
although it still might.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the perfect size desk toy for me to just constantly bounce the suspension and.
Hang on, I'll get mine out. Just
Yeah, you're just showing off.
I am showing off.
Is the Micro Shark a stock wheelbase, or is it longer?
It is longer. Let me show you, because I've got another one right here. It's just slightly longer. It's not much. It's like, hang on.
Flip one over. There you go.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. So it's like maybe a centimeter longer.
Yeah, about a half an inch. Close enough.
There. How's that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's.
You use the other links that come in the package.
Well, I didn't get any other links that came in the package, but.
Oh. Maybe that's different then. I know that these
mine didn't come in a package. This is all that I have.
Okay.
There's no ESC or radio
no
in
box.
This.
What?
No.
You just got a truck.
Yes, I got a truck, sans the other items.
It must have fallen off another truck.
Yeah, it fell off of another very tiny truck. But since they're not available right now, or out of stock basically everywhere.
Out of stock everywhere.
Yeah. So I was lucky to get what I got when I got it.
You'll get what you'll get and you'll enjoy it.
Exactly. Well, we'll see. There's still
you
yet
will.
to be.
You'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun in the desk or on the desk. Download sur le pupitre on the desk.
What did you just? Oh God! Of course.
School. I went to high school and we had to do French up until grade 9, and then we could choose another elective. So.
Perfect.
The extent of my French is basically what I like to call cereal box French, because all of our food products are bilingual. So all the French I remember is on the other side of the cereal box.
Only what you run across on a normal basis when you're eating cereal.
Right. So like you flip the box around, you read that while you're eating.
Just to brush up. Good call.
Yeah.
So, yeah, build plans for this summer, other than now my 1/24 scale. But we have that. We have a mayhem that most certainly the email is done.
Oh, you've written the email now.
I have written said email.
You know what's great about having my monitor over? Sorry, real quick. What's great about having my monitor over here? It was that when I flip to you full screen.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm tiny and I'm looking up at you.
I was thinking about that because how mine is set. I'm looking this way, and then you're looking that. I need to like switch them, so we're just like. Although that might look weirder when I say.
It's like really cute when I do this. Like I'm just listening to everything you have to say.
Right. Ryan was saying I need a little fridge in here for my bubbly, but the last thing I want in this room is anything that creates even more heat.
Right.
I don't know if you have this issue in yours, but like when I've got my lights going, the PC on, hopefully not the 3D printer, but if I get like this, it's just like a little oven in here. They're an easy bake oven. It takes a while to get warm, but you walk out of the room and all of a sudden you're just like, wow, it was hot in there.
Yeah. I'm not.
That's why I needed the mesh chair.
I'm in a what is essentially a cellar, so it gets a little damp in the summer. And extremely muggy. And now that I've got this EVGA PC blasting hot air at me, it's gonna get mighty hot. I think in the summertime. I have to stop gaming. I'm gonna have to stop playing Fortnite all the time.
Right. Yeah. Really cranking on that video card.
Ultra settings on Fortnite really tax this thing. So. I don't know. I don't think it does, actually. I know nothing about video games.
Yeah. That I honestly really hardly know it. Although I've been playing a lot of a game called SnowRunner, which...
I've got SnowRunner. Yeah.
No, that one. I definitely stayed up a little too late playing this weekend and like a child, but whatever. Nicole asked me the next day, what time did you go to bed?
Yeah, that's...
Don't worry about
it. Don't worry about it, yeah. I went bed.
Yeah.
I have that game too. I'm very frustrated by it right now.
Why is that?
Because, you know, once I unlocked the first little bit, like once I unlocked Michigan and then went to Alaska, I found that I didn't understand how tasks worked. And I also was stuck with that stupid Chevy truck, and I couldn't find another good truck. I was just like infuriating.
You didn't realize you could like bring trucks to different regions and things like that?
No, I didn't know that.
I see.
Yeah, that's the patience level for video games for me. So
that's the if you get it on PC, we're just gonna become game streamers now. Or that's,
oh yeah.
Although that I play
watch my Twitch, watch my Discord.
Yeah, exactly. Join the
Discord.
That game, I actually enjoy it, but it would have to be the most boring game to watch.
Oh yeah,
because it's just like it's the slowest. You're just and
you're just like you're spinning
you're spinning the tires, but you can tell that the vehicle's moving forward. So like, I'm just gonna sit here. Another 3-4 minutes.
I'm not
of
getting
this.
out the winch. I'm not winching. I'm driving this out of this mud pit.
Oh, video games.
And you know what? Not realistic. There's way too much mud in Alaska for all that snow to be on top of it.
Right.
That should all be frozen.
Let's see. John Schultz is coming up to the Rubicon in 2.5 weeks, and DPC is having a 3-day get-together at the Rubicon Slabs.
Well, he's going to give you the Rubicon slaps.
Yeah, right. That's interesting. I was planning a little trip to the Rubicon, and maybe not in 2.5 weeks. I think that weekend I'm busy. In a week and a half, I'm planning a trip to the Rubicon.
I guess you guys are going to miss each other again.
Yeah. What do your Incision rebuildable? Oh, he's talking about. Did you see the new release of the? They're actually Vanquish rod ends, not Incision, but.
Oh, these are the new, the fancy rod ends.
Yes.
They have a pin to hold
it's
a ball end in.
So it's got the machined rod end, and then you put the pivot ball in like normal, but then it has a brass piece that goes down from the inside. And there's
brass.
Then there's a tension screw that goes down, and that screw, you tighten it, and it pushes that brass either more against it or less, and that's how you adjust how much tension's on the pivot ball. That way, also, they don't wear out. But and then
does that stop the shimmy back and forth?
Yes. So
neat.
It's a solution if you've got a high stress area that you've been having problems with rod ends. They come in a 4-pack, but they are. The question was how much they go for. They are $29.99.
How many do you get for $29.99?
4 of them.
Oof.
They're expensive. They are also very difficult to make, but.
All right, well, that's.
It's in case you really need that durability.
Yes.
So
if you're having a problem with your rod ends,
right,
you might want to. Well, I mean, you can buy those for sure, but you might want to examine how you drive.
Well, let's not get crazy.
Just buy the rod ends.
Yeah, just buy the rod ends and keep having fun.
Come on. Remember, it's not about fun. I don't remember what that is.
I don't know why you're worried about the price. Like, you would only need 1 pack of these. It's just your steering links. Everything else is stupid leaf springs.
Touche.
1 pack gets your whole truck done. Like,
hey, you know what? Just so you know, I am building a linked truck right now.
Oh, wow.
And it's a Vanquish truck as well. It might just be a prototype Origin truck, in fact.
Oh, that's your... That's what you've got
That's what
audio.
That's what I'm putting my Willy on.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I will be here all week.
Very nice.
I'm glad I was able to get that joke out. I didn't know if I was going to have a moment for it.
Yeah, like you had that one locked and loaded, huh?
Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about that one all week. Sounds like Josh said micro shaft. That's right. He did say micro shaft.
I said, did I say micro shark?
Shart. Oh, micro shart. That's even funnier. Life of Coach D. Thanks for checking in, man. Alan Harris wants to know, he says, nobody from Night Customs is responding to my emails. I'm wanting to get a printed copy of the Proline Hilux bed. Do you know another way to get in touch? Alan, short of contacting him on his My Mini Factory page, I can't think of a good way other than Facebook Messenger. He probably would respond to that. I know that messaging window opens instantly when you go to the Night Customs Facebook page, so try that first.
Ah, true.
True,
Yeah,
true,
that's
true.
the My Mini Factory stuff. I'm actually started to look into that a little bit more, seeing all the options people put out there.
There's some great stuff there.
Seems like it's becoming more and more populated with reasonably.
Yes, and part of the reason of that, I think, is that the price of 3D printers has come way down. They're a lot more accessible. And
Right.
Shapeways has increased their prices dramatically, making it pretty much unaffordable for anybody. And especially if it's a big part.
Right.
Oof.
Yeah, or a lot of parts. You know, if you need
Yeah.
multiple parts to complete a project, it's just going to keep going higher and higher. That's a tough one. Which you would think that with 3D printing technology and everything going up, that their pricing would have gone down. But that's
Yeah. It's such a weird reverse theory. You know, like you would think
yes.
you've been running this game for a long time. Those printers are definitely paid off. Certainly at this
Unless
point you could.
the only thing I could think of is if they thought the lifespan on their printers was going to be a lot longer and they're finding themselves having to reinvest sooner and
that could be.
not getting all the factor out of it, like maybe.
That could be.
But
yeah,
that's one of those things. Hey, speaking of completely unrelated topics, did you notice today that Proline posted up a new comp crawler tire?
I did.
The Ibex.
I put it on my stories today, I believe. I saw that. It looks pretty open in terms of the pattern.
It looks a little bit open, but I think that kind of fits into the area of how guys are trimming pin tires normally.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Jake Wright, Del Monte on Instagram, I believe, or maybe that's just how I remember. Maybe that's not what his name is. It is Del Monte on there. He posted a setup on his comp crawler. And
he did?
Yeah, I believe on Facebook, not on Instagram. And they look pretty good. So I was surprised to see Proline finally come out with a comp. But in their hashtags, they had hashtag Axial and Capra. So I think that the Capra being a performance aimed vehicle, not necessarily a comp crawler by any means, but a performance aimed vehicle, they were just like, it's as good a time as any. There would have been a better time a long time ago, but now not much better of a time, so great, they'll get those out of the market. I'm looking forward to seeing what those are.
Yeah, me too. If for any reason, just to put a set on the Capra, actually. And I mean,
exactly.
You can tell that they're marketing it towards that because an Ibex is also some sort of goat thing.
Yeah.
It's also a goat.
It's also a goat.
Yeah. Capra is also a goat. So
right.
I think we're going to see a lot of products with goat references.
Right. Question for Matt. What's the best adhesive for PLS to styrene? I'm guessing PLA to styrene. Straight up super glue?
Yeah, super glue or something. Maybe a flexible CA. Because typical styrene cement or solvent isn't going to get those two pieces to go together. PLA doesn't have the same properties as ABS, which is why they are two different plastics. So, probably have to go like a flexible CA. Sand both pieces first so they'll stick together better.
Yeah. Or use a lot more glue. Either way, I think whatever you have handiest. Black CA is always my go-to. You should use black CA.
Yeah. So something with maybe a little bit of flex to it, like a rubberized CA, that would work really well. Still bond, but still have enough flex that it won't snap the pieces apart when they hit an obstacle or something. That would be my guess.
Yeah. Did you know I finally was getting back to work on my Flip That Truck project since, well, for one, I have a story. PayPal's a snitch.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how. Somehow, Nicole's phone number is on my PayPal. It's never happened before. And she
they phoned Nicole?
They text her
No.
because of a large purchase that was made out of there.
Oh boy.
She was just for one, I think she thought it was like a spam or a hack or something like that. She's like, I don't think I have a PayPal. And I should have just been like, yeah, just completely ignore that. That's not a thing.
That's not for you. Don't call them back.
Then I told her, no, that's real. And then was the, what?
Yikes. What is this project?
I bought a truck.
Like a real truck?
No, it's just a very expensive toy truck.
From whom?
Somebody in Utah.
Oh, this is just like a truck that's already been built.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
Anyway, I was like, I think that it could be my next flip truck, or maybe I haven't decided yet. I think I have to see it first. Maybe I'll just keep it. But
sounds expensive.
Yeah, I don't know that it quite fits into the into the series with how much it was.
Well, because you'll never get it back.
Oh, you're so wrong.
We'll see.
I'm not going to lose money, but.
Whoa, way out of focus.
So after that, I was like, "Oh, I need to get back to work on my other truck." So you're making some weird faces, sir.
I know. I'm trying to get in focus. There we go.
Trying to have it actually voice or face detect.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. This thing just decides randomly that I'm not going to work anymore.
Yeah. Nicole. I should have told Nicole it was a litter robot, but or multiple litter robots.
I bought a robot.
Yeah,
a litter robot.
I bought you 3 litter robots. Like,
it's gonna come in so handy.
Yeah, you're gonna like it.
Hey, you started to talk about the email that you were gonna send, and I want to hear about this email.
Yes. Well, the email, lots of words, a couple of addresses in it, whole deal.
You haven't sent?
I have not. I was going to send it to you first. Give
my approval.
Give the once over on it. Make sure that it's
right.
How you would like to approach it.
Interesting.
Because you know what, I'm ready for some more mayhem.
I am also ready for more mayhem. It's summer. It's hot. We have to take advantage of this very brief season. That I get.
Right. So I'm ready for it. I'm looking forward to get going on it. I actually got a bunch of emails written today.
You haven't been collecting parts or anything, though, have you?
I mean, no.
I mean, no or no?
No, of course not.
No, that doesn't also sound accurate. Anyway.
We'll get the email out before I start counting counting your chickens before they hatch? But,
yes.
Yeah. Yes, someone's starting to do the math on the multiple robots. Weren't they $500 each? Yes, multiple robots.
Multiple robots. Yes. Many good questions here. Let's see. Life of Coach D ordered his No Prep 69 Pro Line Tough Body today because he's converting his Rustler into a No Prep.
I'm super tempted to pick up one of the tough bodies of the Nova.
I think you would need it. If anyone needs a tough body, it's Josh.
What I was mistaken on as well is that they are not actually a tougher body.
What?
No. It is purely a black molded body.
So hold on. What makes it tough?
I'm not sure.
If it's just molded in a different color like sand.
Right. Which I believe
I just thought, like, I thought it would be thicker.
Right.
Like
Either way,
060.
I was mistaken. So
Huh.
it's called the sorry, it's not just the tough body. It's called they're called the tough color bodies. Tough dash color. I didn't notice that either.
That's weird.
So it just means that you can scratch it all to hell, but it's still always going to be black.
That's yeah. Yeah. I think that'll show the scratches more.
Well, show the scratches, yes, but they're just going to be black scratches. Or not black, they're still going to look scratched. But regardless, the reason is because it comes painted, basically, then. So I'll get some stickers, slap them on the side, send it down the road.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm
going to buy that, and then I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and buy the multicolor electrical tape pack, and I'm going to put it in this stupid line pattern, and it's going to be exactly like yours. It's going to lines this way, then lines this way. Matt's car. No one will know the difference.
Yeah, perfect. Although, I mean, the difference is mine looks good.
Right.
I'm trying to get it down so I can show it. There we go. I haven't done much with it since I crashed it the first time, but...
See, what color electrical tape did you use total?
I didn't use any electrical tape. This is all paint.
Oh, I see. Interesting. So you just use the electrical tape to mask it? How much electrical tape do
funny.
you... You think I'm joking.
People think I'm the funny one, I think.
Right.
It's already quite scratched because I rolled it a lot. But it's a fun car, and I guess a lot of my local buddies are actually out there testing and prepping and.
Yep, we've had a bunch of races locally going down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm still a bit nervous about.
We've got a local list. There's a cash days this weekend. There's, I mean,
neato.
They're ready to go.
Get it fired up.
My wife just threw a cat at me. So, yeah, I'm ready to get out there and go do some drag racing as well, and got all of the projects now that just need to get moving. So
yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the list, but I am making progress. The RC10, most of the parts are clean now, which is great. The pan, I put up this the pan on the story the other day. It's pristine now. Well, as pristine as a 30-plus-year-old body is going to get, or chassis, I mean. But
right, that actually
not too bad,
that looks
right?
Pretty good.
It's pretty clean. There's a little bit of
good.
discoloration from where some tape and some weird maybe like a double-sided glue stuff was obviously had some sort of solvent in it and kind of degraded the anodizing, but otherwise,
you're right.
It's pretty clean. I mean, the underside obviously is a bit scratched up, but not too shabby, all things considered.
Are you going to drive it?
Yep. Yeah, I am. I don't think, this is like a combo Edinger Cadillac car, and I don't know if anybody who's watching
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what that means. Two different factories, Associated moved halfway through the production of the first gen of cars, and their factory was on a street called Edinger, and then when they moved, the new street was Cadillac. So that's how these two chassis are sort of differentiated, and there's some parts that were exclusive to the Edinger and then other ones that weren't. It's not really interesting. It's not an interesting story, but for collectors it means a lot to have those that history on the car. Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that.
Okay. Interesting to me.
Right. Hey, yeah, sure. I'll allow it. I mean, after building one of those, I can't understand the fascination. But
was yours the 6-gear trans, or did you have a
yes,
traditional stealth?
6-gear.
Yeah, they're a pain in the butt.
It was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting.
I mean, hey, let's be honest. That's like 80s tech, right? They were building that thing and designing it with a slide rule. So
yeah,
made in America.
True. You know, the old school Proline tires on there, the whole deal.
I've actually got
interesting.
The tires that I have are even more interesting because they're actually Goodyear branded.
Oh, wow.
So they're worth a pretty penny in the aftermarket. Not that I'm selling them and I won't use them because people would kill me. But yeah, pretty cool stuff.
I mean, I know so little about vintage RC that, you know, whatever. But honestly, the differences between the vintage, the RC10 and the Ultima. The Ultima obviously was much newer, but it appeared so. Especially even in the redone kit, it was very. I'm told it was, you know, more brought up to date, even more so. So I actually enjoyed that build. It didn't feel old to me.
Right.
But it's, you know, even building or looking at some of the older projects or building on some older projects that were in the mid 2000s, like, and seeing how much things have changed. You know, the other day I was working on somebody's original AX10 Scorpion. Did you ever deal with those or have one of those?
No, I never had a Scorpion, but I know the tech. Like, I've seen them in person and stuff.
Right, but just seeing, you know, like how they were stock with the wishbone 3-link upper suspension, you know, little 3mm rod ends and single shear points almost everywhere, you know, mounting to the outside, just all of these little things. It's just like the things that we've modified and have found their way through basically any new product that's released. Like, none of those things would fly. And so,
was that your cat?
No. Yes, that was. She's noisy, especially around this time. But they had the original AX10 Scorpion, the kit came with the green anodized options. Then they had I think that RTR came next, maybe.
And I believe it had orange, right?
No, that was the ARTR.
Oh.
The RTR came with the big buzzard body. And plastic links, I believe. I believe it was the first. And you'd get that thing in a hole, and the rear axle would almost come up and touch the chassis. Like, it would just climb under itself. And it came with an open diff, or open diffs front and rear. But it came with the lockers in the box that you could swap in.
Right. Neat.
It was, I mean, it was pretty interesting for that.
That's
and then later came the ARTR, which had the orange, and it came built with the XC1 body, but
yes,
no electronics.
Pretty fun fact: I have a bag of those old green and orange links because I don't know why. When Rodney was still at Axial, he sent me a random box of stuff. And I have most of it still because I didn't know what to do with it. I still don't. But it's like bag and bag and bag and bag and bag of orange and green links. I was like, well, I'm never using these. Put them over here.
Well, Axial used to sell the standoffs in like 5mm increments.
Yeah, here. I got all of those too.
And those were super handy.
Oh, yeah. If you were building a truck that already had green or orange links anyway.
Well,
a purist like me, what am I going to do with all of these?
Well, why don't you just put some patina on them or something? Don't you have a dust color you can spray?
I got some dust I could put on there. Yeah. Speaking of, I have to do the whole underside of this truck because it's way too clean. Lost my focus again. There we go.
Is the hood popped?
Yeah, the hood opens. There's a motor in there. But yeah, it's just like so clean underneath. that I'm gonna have to spray the whole thing. Like, what's his name? He's in Orlando, owns a hobby shop. Nick Barber.
Oh, Nick Barber. Yep.
Like he painted his Origin with tractor paint.
Green, John Deere green.
No, it was red. He did it in international
it was red. That was
red.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did international red, and then yes, he did, and then Dan Davidson followed suit with a John Deere green version.
That's right. Yeah. But you guys that created some controversy when I posted.
It did, because he the first one he posted was at RC4 Drive East Coast Scale Challenge.
That's right.
It was one of the very first. I think it was the very first Origin Limited.
Yeah.
All aluminum kit, and it just assembled it 100%, shocks, shock shafts,
everything,
bumpers, and then painted it all together. But with a nicely painted body.
Yeah, the body was well done. Although he forgot to take the masks off, or he took the masks off the headlights before he sprayed the red. So.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. Oops. But yeah, that was by far one of the best posts I had on the Instagram. I was the first one to put it out there, and caused quite a stir.
Yeah, I remember that. That was both sides. But hey, that's how you paint it. You paint, when tractor needs a new coat of paint, you don't disassemble, you just spray. There's some dirt on it. Maybe it gets hosed off first. Maybe not. Probably not. Maybe you knock it off and then brush some more on.
Oh, speaking of just painting it or blowing it off and painting it, Richard started working on his Chevy a bit more.
I saw, yes, Richard, pardon my new, his new government
issue,
government auction issue. What is it's a square body Chevy with a 6.2 diesel?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
but
so
full
rad.
camo paint, the whole deal.
Yeah, basically like it came out of the factory. This thing is, for its age, because it's like an 83, I think, it's in pretty good shape. And
it must not have lived its life in the Midwest.
It's only got like 36,000 miles on it. And yeah, it did come from the South.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, man, there's not enough rust for it to have lived in Ohio forever.
No. I mean, there is plenty of rust, but the good kind, patina.
The good kind. Scale nerds.
Somebody asked, Jeremy wants to know how, for the link ends, how much? I think you said they're $29.99 for 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So, and people say, like, where would you use them? Some people said steering links. The place where I end up with the, I'll stretch rod ends somewhat, I commonly driving hard, especially on upper front links, if you're running a portal, because there's you got a big lever down, so it puts a lot of torsion on that top upper link, and you can stretch those. So for me, it would be, just all of the links, of course. But my front upper, probably do the pan hard then, and then the lowers front and rear.
Right.
So would be my first. And then if I wanted to go all out, I would end up finishing the steering links and the rear uppers. But
where is this here? SFL RC24 was asking what's up with my hat. This is where I work. No, I don't work at a school. I work at a place called School Editing, and that's our logo. So, representing my company today.
Yeah. Come on. I have a cat in here that's trying to be needy but not want attention at the same time.
This is one of our best live streams ever. I'm talking about my hat, and Josh is trying to get his cat on his lap. That's a good-looking cat.
She's not a bad-looking cat.
Oh, yeah. She's got a weird voice. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
All right, on the next episode of Josh's Cats.
Yeah, I'm going to get the other cat. Next time.
I
swear.
RC Dingus wants to know how much money I have in my tattoos. If my wife is watching, these were all free.
Right. They were on sale.
They were on sale. Yeah, I got them 6 months ago, and they were on sale when I bought them. I don't know. It's a lot of hours, because I got a full back piece. Most of my chest is done up to here. Both sleeves. Some on my legs. I don't know. I don't want to think about it, but probably a lot.
Yeah, good. That's good enough estimation.
As much as Josh has spent on a couple
robots?
trucks. Yeah, 14 litter robots. No, I don't know. Right. I have no idea.
I think that's just the new currency. Just
everything's in litter
robots.
Litter robot cats things. Cat litter robots. Yeah. A lot of money, but worth it because I get to look at them forever. They're stuck with me.
It's one, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a good relationship with my tattoo artist, and she's pretty generous on the pricing structure. So, make friends with tattoo artists if you want tattoos.
Right. That's such an interesting way to look at it.
Matt Romero called you Josh Exotic.
Hey, close enough.
It's so true, though. I mean, you've got more cats than I do.
That's true. I mean, I think I have the same number as you do, technically.
Currently. Yeah, you're going to have a lot more.
And I'm worried that I'm going to lose my zoo now.
You're gonna what? Oh yeah.
I'm gonna lose my zoo.
You gotta buy more Walmart meat.
Right.
If you haven't watched Tiger King,
you definitely should.
Definitely should. It's so good. It's honestly probably the best show on Netflix right now.
I mean,
other than The Office, which I'm almost done. We just got through the mural with the butts on it.
that's a touchy episode.
Yeah.
But it just means I think I finished it the other day and I just started again.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
But I think I started at season 3.
It's not called Netflix. It's called The Office Machine.
Right. Things just you just start back over.
Yeah. Any more mayhem talk? But you go ahead with your question, then we'll get back to mayhem again.
Yes, we'll get back to that. Got this. Okay, Rack here, Junior. He bought a new Wraith 1.9 slider minus transmission for $175. What do you think of that deal?
Well, that sounds. How much is it new?
I think we discussed this last week. I thought they were $329, and I think you can buy them right now for just under $300.
And that's RTR, of course.
That's RTR.
And this one, I guess, for $175 would have been RTR.
Maybe no motor at least. But $175, I think, is just a fair deal.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. That's a good asking price, and if you're happy with the quality of everything, then yeah, you're good. You did well.
And I'm such a fan of that car that's just.
Yeah, I know you like that one a lot. I've never actually. I don't have one. I had the original Wraith, of course, but I've never had the 1.9. I'd be keen to get one, but I don't know where I would put it.
Right, or
what I would sell to make room for it.
Yeah, what project to actually start in with it.
Yeah. When's the vintage show off between y'all? Harley has a Kyosho Riri. You do, right? You've got the Ultima.
I do. Somewhere.
We could.
I don't know where it's at. I've actually I spent a very minimal amount of time, but I actually tried to. I'll say that my studio has recently slightly exploded out into the other portions of the house, and it was getting a little out of hand with boxes of other things that no longer had room in this studio. Right. So I spent a little bit of time and started getting some things put away, and now they're still in other parts of the house, but at least they're not visible. Like maybe we don't have a guest room closet anymore.
Who's coming to visit anyway?
Yeah. And what kind of crazy person hangs up their clothes in a guest room closet? Same person that uses the dresser in a hotel. Like,
well, it depends on how long you're staying in the hotel.
Are you really?
Well, what? How long?
If you were,
how long?
You're going to go stay in a hotel room for a month. Are you going to use a dresser in a hotel?
Yeah.
You're a crazy person.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Nobody does that.
No, but why? Because this doesn't make any sense if you don't have a reason why. Is it because of some sort of cleanliness issue?
Why are you going to take the extra effort to just put your...
I'm there for a month. If I'm there for a month, my clothes are coming out of my suitcase.
When you need to put them on.
Not all of us just wear T-shirts that are donated to us from hobby companies, okay? Notice there is no logo on this shirt today. This is a shirt I would put in a dresser. Folded.
Okay, for one, I make Nicole hang up all of my T-shirts.
Well, that's good. That's the way it should be.
Like, she thought I was crazy that I hang T-shirts rather than fold them and put them in a dresser. T-shirts get hung.
Okay, you're a weirdo. You are totally a weirdo.
No, T-shirts get hung up in a closet. But using...
Well, I guess because okay, that's fair, Josh, because you don't have any other kind of shirt.
I still have a lot of dress shirts from when I used to have to wear them.
A typical work day for you, I'm sure, is that outfit right there. Yeah, you came from work.
And then I'm ready to live stream. I probably could have used a shave, but today I did not shave.
Incredible.
But still, no, you just don't.
A month
if you need
in a hotel is a long time.
If you need a place for your clothes, there's usually a stand for your suitcase. You brought your own dresser. That's what a suitcase is.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you can... next monthly Mayhem challenge, everybody. Putting our clothes in a drawer. The craziness.
I can't believe this. I can't believe you're actually the person that would use a dresser. Have you ever used a dresser in a hotel?
Yeah, of course I have. Because I've been to hotels and stayed there for more than 2 days.
I have too. I've stayed in one for a month in Chicago.
Good for you. You were doing it wrong.
Never. The only thing that I did was gathered up my dirty clothes to take to a laundry service to pick back up. That was it.
Okay, in this situation...
And then...
Your Jim in that episode where Daryl is staying with him in Philly.
Yeah, I'm definitely the... Yeah.
Yeah, you're the messy guy for sure. What? My clothes are in my suitcase still. 30 days later.
That does not seem ridiculous at all.
All right, we got to stop talking about this because people are going to lose interest very quickly.
I agree. I think this.
So
this
we'll
lets
agree
people know
that you're crazy and I'm normal.
False.
Josh also lets his dishes soak.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sticky's RC. That's perfect. Incredible. All right. What do you want to talk about now?
What right into hotels and other events that require hotels.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is a good one.
We have what?
The good event coming up.
Can we book hotels for nationals yet?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I need to do that.
So do I.
And then I need to decide what I'm going to build for nationals.
I thought you were going to say what you're going to need to wear.
Yeah. I promise you that it will be inside of my suitcase.
Okay. So you need to build, 3 more trucks again?
Probably just 2. I put the Class 1 on my website yesterday for sale. Then...
I should buy it and run it.
Yeah, exactly. Have a chance.
So, psych. Yeah, I don't need that.
So, I got to figure out that. I got to figure out if I'm going to go hard body again in class 1 and try and beat, or just, I don't know.
Well, if you want me to eat my hat made out of nachos.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that whole thing. You were going to eat your hat if I ran a card bot. Oh,
that's right.
How am I going to let you get away with that?
You're not. And that's the thing.
Yeah, now I remember. See, it's been too much time from the bet.
I'm glad I'm able to make you rethink your what I would consider to be better choices in going with a Lexan body.
Right.
And consider going with a hard body to screw not just yourself, but me into eating my hat.
Right. Yeah, that's... See, I forget all of these things so quickly. And it isn't too late to commit to Axial Fest Badlands. That is true.
That is true.
That's still a possibility.
Yep. It's still very much a possibility for me too. We'll just have to see. I've got to make some decisions on that and see. We're totally free to go travel about the. Still a little bit. Yeah, still a little bit careful for my, wife and coworkers' reasoning. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people I work around every day, so try and be conscious of it.
Yep.
But that's one that I'm wanting to do. Mid-July, it's good. Although mid-July in Indiana is going to be warm.
I think you mean wet.
Well, that's another really good possibility is rain.
No, I just meant from the humidity.
Well, that's just always yeah. You always feel like you just stepped out of the shower in the Midwest in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm used to that.
It's like K&K, which was always blazing moist.
Yes. Well, let's see.
It's rained every single time. Yeah.
Except, yeah. Well, even I was there. I was there last year. Basically, this weekend last year.
Yeah. In fact, it was supposed to be starting tomorrow, but it is canceled again this year.
Right.
Obviously.
Which was a bummer. Yeah. I was going to be at that one.
Yeah.
So, July, maybe it won't be as rainy, but there's still such a good shot of that hitting.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. And, up in the air for sure, TBD.
I just don't, I don't get to go to many Midwest events lately. So I would like to get back to the Midwest. But,
we'll see.
And my Woods Runner would be legal-ish.
Does it have a dig?
Yes.
Well, you just
have
to lock it out. Yeah, just lock it out.
You don't have to lock it out, does you? There's not even... It's just to be axial-ish.
Oh, right. Axial axles and chassis.
Right. Chassis, yes.
Yes. Axles, no.
The axles are listed as SCX 10.2 upgrades on our
exactly.
website.
As long as they have the internals, I think that's the rule.
Right. Which I think it'd work.
Yeah. Matthew Small, thank you very much for the $10. He wants to know the best way to remove stripped hardware. And then there's a second part to this question. Also got 10.2 rock jocks for $450. Was that a good deal? I assume that those are complete. So,
right.
Yeah, I think that's decent.
It's about retail.
Yeah.
If they're all built.
Yeah. As for removing stripped hardware, I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but what I do is I get my Dremel out and just notch it, and then remove it with a flathead screwdriver.
Yeah, I try and use that when I can. If I don't have the luck with that, like sometimes it's hard to get enough depth on one of those screw heads to really work.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll try and grind away a little bit of each outside.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll try and either grab a pair of vice grips or just a really good set of pliers that has a good edge. And I'll try and grab it from the outside to actually give it a turn. I feel like I can get more leverage on a pair of pliers or something like that to grab from the outside rather than trying to grab from the center. But you do have to be careful that you are grinding on the outside, the part that's exposed to the other part, you have a much higher chance. You likely are going to scratch or kind of start to dig into that part with the Dremel.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be really careful with that. Or use a very small cutoff wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, alternatively, you could drill it and tap it with a smaller tap, but that's pretty...
Oof, you're so precise to try and do that without it drifting. Usually, one material is going to be harder, and then it's going to want to drift. It's so hard.
Yeah. So maybe just try either of those two options.
Usually your best bet.
Yeah.
Sometimes things are so stuck that you just have to almost cut away the part. But the Losi Baja rays and maybe the Rock rays both notoriously had a liter of Loctite on the set screws for the rear axle.
Oh man.
They must have had the same person on that assembly line, and that person must have just thought that they were topping the oil off.
You used your paintbrush for your chip brush. Yeah.
And then I did, so almost every one of those vehicles that I had to try and get the rear axle out of, you had to just start dremeling the slot where the set screw went in until you got all of the threads out, and then you could punch the rest of the set pin through the drive shaft.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Brutal. Matt, yes, we are probably going to be staying at the group hotel for Nats. That's the plan.
That is the plan. Yep.
Josh and I in one room and Josh's wife in another.
You couldn't make her happier unless you told her.
I know. That would be...
She'd be it's
my
like
own
room. I don't have to deal with any
gift.
of this. Yeah. I don't have to deal with any of this RC stuff, and I just get a hotel room.
Yeah. She'd be so happy.
What's the catch?
No catch. You just got to come in and hang all of Josh's t-shirts.
Yeah. There's no need to do that in a hotel room. Leave them in a suitcase. Yeah. Yes, and I can't help but grabbing.
Oh, I know.
The SCX24.
I've been trying not to say anything about that.
I can't help it.
It's
and
right.
I'm so... I forgot how loose the springs were.
Oh yeah, there's nothing going on in there.
I mean, it's enough to suspend it up there. That must have been a pretty hard decision on which springs to go with.
Well, they found whichever ones were laying around.
Right.
Just pulled them out of a
big pen strings. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've got the Bic, and we've got the
Papermate.
Papermate.
Oh yeah. Can you name one other brand of pens?
No.
Cross.
Sharpie.
Okay.
Miscellaneous. What's this one?
Yeah. Complimentary.
Nice. Complimentary Reefs RC pen.
Perfect. Yeah. Reefs RC. They do have some decent swag stuff that you can get.
Pilot. There's the one. Thank you, Evan.
Oh wow, people actually commented.
Cross, ball. Oh yeah, ball. Uniball. That's another one.
Right.
Well, this is a great live stream. This is our best yet.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. It's been such a crazy week already. I think we're all we're having a good time hanging out without the craziness of the rest of the world.
Exactly.
That's been dominating all of us.
Entertainment. Hey, this is a good question. What videos do you have planned?
So one came up today in my, I'll go through a quick list of them. One came up today in my Instagram questions, which I need to take a look at again. But I've been wanting to do it forever, and it's just explaining how, why and how 3-link suspension kind of, how the geometry of things control things, and why an axle has a little bit of left-right movement versus, a 4-link, and why, chassis-mounted servo should be with a 3-link, not with a 4-link, and all of those things. I'd really like to do that video. I think that's going to take me quite a bit, though.
That's a very involved video, because you'll have to do demos on all of the things, right? You'll have to have a 4-link truck available, 3-link truck.
Well, I'm going to try and do it with computer modeling.
Computers? Oh.
Computer box.
Boring.
So that I can actually show you know, show things very clearly in a plane there. You can see those, then show you. That's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
That one. I've also got my SCX-10-2 Builder's Kit long Unimog. And the one part that I was waiting for to arrive has arrived. So now I can build my carrier bearing setup and get that all situated and start kind of wrapping up the very basic design work that's needed on that. Then I've got a VS410 Pro versus Ultra, like why you would want, what the differences are, why we choose one or the other, and what electronics you could choose for them, because those are just like the questions that always pop up for VS410 guys. Like, I don't know which one to get. Here's one to watch. So a couple of things like that are, well, and then my Flip That Truck series. I got that truck going.
Yep. Which Flip That Truck is this one now? Have you started filming that one?
I did the first episode.
Okay.
And then I've got a bunch of stuff on the Woods Runner that I'd like to cover, that I've done, and I've got a micro Woods Runner project to start.
Fun. Are you actually going to design and print a chassis for
Yes.
that? Neat.
So I've got, my plan is, have I told you that I'm planning on buying a CNC router?
Yes. The
Okay.
I know which one you're getting too.
Right.
Because
So
RC 4x4 stainless performance, you just got the same one.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about picking one of those up. And the plan is that I would like to design a chassis set for this to replace the actual rails. Go through that and then integrate some design work so that it has like portions of tube chassis that could be easily printed and put together. And basically try and make this thing look like the big one I have over there.
Right.
So since it's the same body.
Fun. That'll be fun.
I think so too.
Yeah. Maybe
yeah. What is on your build list?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff as per usual. Let me just type in a comment here. Oh, you know what's weird? Even though I'm in another window, like even though I'm in Chrome, my hotkeys still work.
Yes. That is something that I found out when I was doing my CAD tutorials at first.
Yeah.
And because I had my hotkeys all set up on number pad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for all my scene switching.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be like typing dimensions in, and all of a sudden that people would be looking at the wrong screen.
Right.
And then I wouldn't notice, and I'd just be working away, and people were staring at a website.
Yeah. So how do you change that? Well, you don't.
You use like the macro keys on the side now, which is what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Right?
That's neat.
But
I'm going to change that right now.
So yeah, that's a good one to do.
Bap. Apply. Hopefully that works. Nope.
No, because you have to. It's like a whole thing you have to do.
That's
I'll show you how to do that later. You're welcome.
All right.
But
now I can't change anything. Here, cut. All right, good. What do I have going on? Enough chitter chatter. Let's get at her. Hey, thanks a lot for sending me this Northwest doodad. This thing. What is this?
Yeah, the Northwest Scale Designs
chassis table. It's fantastic. As you can see, I built some new rear links.
Yeah.
And it works great for that.
Are those all thread?
For now, yeah, they'll be sheathed.
Gotcha.
And then I'll just send you the lengths.
I was going to say, you might be able to send me the links, and I can just get you links.
That would be nice.
Right.
Because it would really complete the look, keeping it all VP. But this is VS410 Origin with a prototype transmission, the VFD.
Yep.
This was a test project from a long time ago with one of those Comedy motors on there. And this is going to be the Willys, which I've been neglecting. But I am actually building the everything out right now, like putting all the parts on it.
That body's all pieced together like that?
It's a model kit. It's a 6-scale model kit.
Jeez.
So, I had to put on all of the knobs on the dashboard. And yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I would have just cut a single hole in that dash to put in like a race pack and just be like, it's a modern build. I mean, you do have what looks like a tunnel ram intake on it, like would have been realistic to just swap some of that out.
Sure, why not? But yeah, it's going to be a very rewarding model build. It kind of is like a static model in terms of the quality of the parts and everything. There's a lot of bits and pieces. Like all the seats and everything have this really great actual like kind of molded in look to them, which
like
is pretty
fabric
cool.
Look to it. Yeah, pretty detailed.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really fun build. I did have to make some major cuts in the actual main body of the truck, which was to be expected to get it to sit properly on this chassis. Hey,
oh wow, yeah, that took some serious.
There was some trimming.
Oh, that's why, and that's what you were having me look at the tunnel design for.
Yeah, exactly. I think what I'm going to do though, in retrospect, is just rebuild it in styrene. I think it'll be faster and a little more accurate to the truck.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and I think like it sits on there really nicely now, and it looks good. So I want to kind of build the tunnel to work around the VFD. So I want to get it as nice and tight and as close as possible because I still want to put a 6-scale driver in that. So
yeah, that's what I did on my 4Runner. I rebuilt my own tunnel.
Yeah,
because I'm scalar like that. So, and I even made it so that the VFD shifters were appropriate. Which one day you'll get to that level, but
yeah, I don't really. I mean,
you can work up to it.
Get some tips on that from you.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
Later.
But my favorite comment here is from the I'm Too Much, and he says, "Model builds are as rewarding as punching yourself in the face," and and I couldn't agree more.
That's not true. They're super rewarding. I love models.
I felt like I did, and I even bought a couple of the last few years to I'm gonna kind of mess around, and then I just realized how I never enjoyed building models if I didn't just build them all in the white plastic state that they were.
No.
And then was like, that good enough.
No.
It was always just you take all these out and then paint them 9 different colors and wait 5 hours in between. I was like, nah.
Oh, yeah. What you do is you actually leave them on the tree and paint them that way, and then trim everything off and glue it together.
And then go back up and touch up the little areas where you...
No, because in most cases, anytime they have those little bits, they don't show on a good model kit.
I see. Yeah, either way.
Even look, all of these little tiny latches. I don't know if you can see that. There you go.
Yeah.
Those are separate pieces.
Oh, God. That sounds terrible. That is just...
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm also using some incision wheels and
the Holeys
tires. Yeah,
with a little sanding done to the front face.
Yes, I wanted to do something original and different, and did a nice polish on that. I'm gonna go for a little bit wider offset to make them really stick out on this thing, make it feel like a purpose-built crawler. I think it'll be a nice truck.
Yeah.
I don't know what color to do yet, so if anybody has any suggestions on that, they can plop.
Have you thought about a green?
No,
like an olive drab green.
No. No, I can't do that. It's got to be like purple or red or yellow.
Why don't you paint rainbows and unicorns all over it like your Hummer? That's
right. Actually, that's a good idea. I could do something fun like that. No, I'm not doing that. It's already been done. You do something once, and then you do something new.
Darwin was asking, have you done any of the Metal Earth models?
Metal
Have you done it?
Earth.
Those are they're basically laser cut flat plate.
Oh no,
Oh.
that's a whole other level.
It's
Like,
they're kind of just like for display.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one here, but they're just like they're punishment for your fingers. Like they have these little tabs, and basically you need like a magnifying glass and tweezers to bend the little tabs over and get. They're kind of fun, and then I think they're a lot like models. They just like, oh, this should be fun, and then you actually do it, and you're like, this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
For one, you put all those little extra pieces on there.
Well, because with the metal stuff like that, it's like it sits on your desk.
Yes.
Right? Like this is going to be a truck that's going to be driven around, and I'm going to make videos about it. So I want it to
knock off all those little pieces.
No, because I don't roll my stuff.
Right. That's true.
Unless it's a comp, and then everything goes topsy-turvy.
I think that, there's orange willies would be good. I think that's a pink.
That's a good color. Pink could do that.
Petty blue.
Oh,
not a bad.
That's a good choice.
That's actually kind of. There was some that you could, or you could almost do that like close to gray blue light. Almost the. Would that have been like the navy color?
Oh,
not navy blue, but
cavalry blue. I think they call it.
Is that
It's on the FJ Cruiser, like Richard's FJ Cruiser. It's like it's blue, but it's got gray in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So possibly that. Moose Jaw was watching us live while he was in the line at Chipotle. He's trying to beat the curfew that's in place here.
Is he a bowl or burrito guy?
He's a big fan of wings, but I'm gonna guess bowl. For one, Chipotle bowls are better than their burritos.
Yeah, I like the burritos.
That's okay.
If
I'm gonna get a burrito, I'm gonna go to a real Mexican food place.
Well, okay, fair.
May or may not have today.
Oh, good for you. Jose was asking if I had seen that 6-scale Jeep Willys that Asia Tees is selling, which looks just like the one I'm building. It looks like it, yes.
Right. You and I looked at that one pretty close.
We did. We almost. I almost pulled the trigger just because I wanted to see what it actually looked like.
Because it's $299 RTR, I think.
Yeah, or $289 or something. Very close.
It was pretty. Yeah. Or maybe it was even by the way, Moose Jaw is one of the Chipotle taco people, which are the strangest, or most odd of the people.
Yeah. Moose, I don't think we can ever be friends.
But
I do like their chips.
It was very good. Every once in a while, you get the one that has a lot of salt on it. But that Jeep was actually, the body on it looks pretty good. And from the outside, that whole vehicle, it's a pretty decent outside appearance pack. I think underneath.
That's where it falls down a bit.
It's basically just kind of it's a reapplication of one of the fairly inexpensive vehicles that you can get from over there. So I don't have high hopes for the drivetrain that's in it.
No,
but
neither do I.
Overall, still for the price, for the 1/6 scale Willys thing,
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad. I mean, you could probably replace some of the electronics and maybe swap the transmission, because I think it's got a planetary trans in it.
Did it?
I think it might.
That now I can't remember. I have to look it up. It was actually done by another company that was big into the airplane side, but not. This was like their first ground-based vehicle.
Oh, interesting.
So,
good first attempt, but I like in. After I saw what it was, I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with what I'm doing here, and
yeah. I still have mine,
I mean, most guys. Brandon, he showed me his. Your coworker.
Yes, and his is very similar to what mine is going to be like.
Right.
But
what I like about these, and I think what most people who have done these Dragon bodies, they actually just use the whole body and make their own chassis rails and put Wraith axles under it, and they're done.
Right.
Because they mount the whole thing and do like a forward motor mount on like an SCX-10 or whatever. But they just mount the whole transmission and everything and links to the actual tub. They don't even bother with a chassis in some cases. So this
that's the common thing to do with the G.I. Joe ones.
Right, exactly.
Because
they're pretty thick in there. They got a lot of room and a lot of plastic to mount stuff to. This one's a little bit different, and I did want to use a chassis that actually is good.
Right. Yeah, so, and the route that I'm going, I had a chassis that was made 10 years ago, and it's made out of 1/4-inch plate steel and CNC plasma cut to the proper profile. The chassis alone is probably 2 or 3 pounds. That's
beefy.
Yeah. It's substantial for sure. But I'm going to try and do the same Wraith axles with a VFD transmission. So
nice.
Forward and low should still get me done.
It's nice to have a motor, like a scale motor in the front of this Jeep that is sort of appropriate for what I'm looking to make it look like a Jeep that's been modified to be a crawler. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think that's because if you're trying to make it stock resemblance, I mean, the tires have to be 3/4 of an inch wide.
Yeah,
and
narrow,
but fairly large.
Yeah, I mean, the tires that come with this model kit. I don't know if I have any. Yeah, here's one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're.
So that got to be a almost 5-inch tall tire, 4-inch tall tire. What is it?
Yeah, 4 1/4 ish.
Okay, not too bad.
4.5 maybe. They got a lot of flex to them too. I just want to show you this. Pretty hard compound.
We're the real winners here, Matt.
Yeah.
So
that's one project.
What's that? Are you going to use a small tire on that, or what size tire was that?
Oh, these are what are these? These are 475s.
Okay, so it's pretty decent size.
Yeah, it's gonna look appropriate to the scale. So what is that? 6 times? Okay, so now I lost my headphones because they.
Yeah, I was gonna say that all sounded interesting.
So now I don't know what to do. If I turn this up, I bet I'll get feedback.
Get echo. Yep. I can even hear myself.
Great.
Which I like. I'm a fan.
Well, this is going to be awkward now. Because I don't... Oh, you know what? I can plug them into something. I think I have a cable for that. This is going to be really complicated.
The level of preparedness is...
I know. I'm not...
It's almost a 10. It's a 9. It's right there.
Hopefully this is not too distracting for everybody.
It's not great, but well, I guess you turned it down now at least.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make a Lexan body have an open closing hood? I know that you can because I bought one like that from Matt, and it was
Night Customs.
It's basically a Night Customs support that goes on the inside, and it creates the hinges and everything for you. Mm-hmm. You could do it without that, but you're going to have to make some sort of structure that keeps things at the proper level so that, the hood doesn't want to fall in or, because there isn't going to be any overlapping. So you're going to have to create something to make that overlapping.
Yes.
Or to create that area where things are going to stop. But I don't think that it's going to be, well, I shouldn't be the one to talk about fantastic scale details and things like that. But
you probably shouldn't.
It's not the worst.
No. Why don't I go plug these in and give them a quick charge so this doesn't have to last too long? Because
there you go.
I think it'll be super awkward. So pause for 2 seconds. You can answer Road Raptor's question. He sent me $2. Thank you very much. What would be the best axles in a C2 comp build?
Mute me on your side so I don't have to hear my own echo. But Best C2 comp build, you're probably looking at something in like an SCX-10-2 width or somewhere thereabouts. SCX-10-2 axles in general are a good option just because there's multiple gearing options that you can get with overdrive and standard ratio. You can also modify the universals and knuckles, things like that, to get you 50 plus degrees of steering, which is important as well. The small pumpkin size of an AR44 style or size axle is super beneficial. That's the route that I would suggest going. And whatever one you choose in that range, you can get aftermarket ones, you can get aftermarket plastic housings, or the stock housings or modified stock housings. So tons and tons of options. I think that you'd find a very reasonable route. And you could start with something that's very close to stock and then work to a very capable comp truck.
What he said.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are good answers, though. That's where I would go. Absolutely. You want something with a small pumpkin, without a doubt.
This truck that I have in front of me is something that would be aimed kind of at that, performance more than anything, competition side, because it's got a flat plate chassis, which I'm not generally a fan of. But to stay with that theme, I didn't put the bed on. I did a very simple 1/8" steel cage on the back, and then I'm going to go in and fill it in with some panels and things like that to get it finished up. But slammed as low as possible body. And this has TRX4 axles, transmission, everything in. But I think this truck will actually still do pretty well. I don't think that it's
not ugly.
Obvious. No. It's a little ugly, but just, it's a flat plate chassis with cut-in shock towers and whatnot. But
I just believe you're using a flat plate.
I bought the truck. I got it at a deal.
Fine.
So.
Fine. I have more projects, but I can't remember what they are. All my bits came in for the Capra. I'm going to switch the Capra to a 3-gear trans.
You should wait on that.
Why?
I have something for you.
Sweet. All right, I'll wait on that.
It'll go along with your plans just fine, but
good.
Remind me on that and I'll message you.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing the same, but still.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun project, though. It's going to make that truck infinitely more usable than what it is right now, because the moment you put any kind of real motor in it, you kind of lose any of the gearing with the stock trans. So
that was why I haven't driven mine much. It was just because the bit of frustration that I had with that.
Yeah, I've already put normal width axles under it. No more portals either, just for fun, just to do something different.
That's right. You did do that as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good looking truck as it sits right now, and it's just gonna get better. It's still, 4-linked and CMS, but I much prefer the width now. I think it just looks way better.
It does look good in that narrower width. It brings the proportion of that cage into more of a reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And seeing the shreddy style livery on there.
Yeah.
We know in that video that Proline posted that that shreddy Blake is working with Proline on a body.
Yep.
A Megalodon body.
That's an interesting one. I wonder what that's going to be for. Short course body or short course truck?
I'm thinking it's got to be short course truck.
Yeah.
So it's got to fit in there. I'm imagining it's going to be along the lines of one of the Heatwave bodies with the pre-done livery, and just buy it and be ready to go. But hopefully it's done well and with good proportions, and
we can hope.
We can hope.
And
short course bodies always make you wonder, but
yeah.
If it's the one thing nice with the a Baja Bug style or whatever though is that it doesn't have to try and be that over the fender
No.
style. It can be narrower and maybe it's kind of what would
Actually,
look most appropriate on those.
you know what it would be really cool on? The UDR.
Yes, but also no. You could be more wrong, but I don't know how.
What? It would be great on that thing.
It would if the UDR cage and everything would actually fit a Baja Bug style. But instead, you would have, it's like when people put other bodies onto a bomber and the cage on the inside's down here and the roof is actually all the way up here. The windshield is way forward and the B pillars hanging out the backside of the cab.
Are you judging me right now?
Yep.
Because I put the Ram body on it?
There's so many bodies that people put on Wraiths or bombers and they just don't fit. Well, they're like, I'm going with it. I've got a body.
Some of us make it work just fine, okay?
Right. Just when none of the tubes line up to how they would actually be in a vehicle. Driver's seat is literally hanging halfway out of the cab.
No. Mine was pretty good. I think it looked all right. Jack Desk was asking what axles I put on the Capra. Those are Curry F9s that I stole off my Ripper. Because the Ripper now has Capra with VP portals for comping.
Right. BT is asking, with the advent of the SCX-10 will Vanquish now update the VS410? I don't think so, because I don't think the SCX-10 really pushed anything different. It's got a 2-speed, but I still don't think a 2-speed is something I'm interested in trying to push for. The motor and everything is much higher in the SCX-10 where ours keeps it quite a bit lower. The SCX-10 offers a lot of cool things with the molded inner fenders and the Jeep body. I think that Jeep bodies are very cool. I really like that licensing.
Me too.
And there are things I like about the SCX-10 as well, but I don't think that there's like, because of this needs to change. Like for me, the VS410 Pro or Ultra would still be the truck I would rather have in comparison. Well, but they're at very different price points. If you're not trying to spend that much, then an SCX-10 is still a pretty good option.
Yeah, totally. And much like, I don't think Traxxas is going to do anything different to their product line.
No. I mean, yeah. If anything, the TRX4 and the SCX-3 are the head-to-heads.
Yeah, that's where your head-to-head is for sure.
And that would be, the SCX-10 obviously coming after. I think that the SCX-10 did a lot better job on like the axle design as far as looks go. Mm-hmm. Axle design as far as strength goes, I think that Traxxas still has that.
Yep. I
think it's a beefier axle. It's just not that appealing to look at, or nearly as appealing to look at. Although it does have, but it's got a lot bigger gears that can hold a lot of power and little, Axia went for this more scale-minded, although still a portal. Like, try and check the boxes, but still look good. Check the boxes of all those features that people have to see on the box list.
Yeah.
But try and make it look better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Jose, back to comp axles. He suggests the SSD housings are also pretty widely used in comps. The diamond style plastic housings.
Yeah, plastic aftermarket housing, or you could do it like a Beef Tubes modified AR-44 if you want a beefed up.
Unintended.
Yes, that one was. Ripper Machinist is excited to see Matt's steam-powered trophy truck beat Josh in the next competition.
Well, yeah, Jim, I'm going to definitely beat him on that one because there's no way Josh will ever do a steam-powered truck.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'll take the
I,
prize right now. Thank you.
yeah, I mean,
Monthly
I'd find a way
mayhem
to
over.
cheat that. But let's, um, yeah, and that's the other thing that, like, looking at some of the SCX-10 III, the two speed, while it does function, it doesn't have a huge difference in speed between them, so it was a little bit of an off there. Traxxas does a good job with their two speeds. They, they've got some movement in them, but overall, it's a their transmission is stout, and it gets the job done pretty well. The
100%.
motor's lower. It's not as low as it can go, but it's lower, especially lower than the SCX-3.
Yep.
Um,
Their battery placement is worse.
their battery placement is definitely not as good.
If there's one revision I'd like to see them make, it would be that. If they could figure out a way to put it in a different spot.
Yeah, just lower it from where it's at. Just even straight down. Like,
sure. Yeah, the
just get that.
Bauhaus makes that great replacement. I've got one
Right.
of those.
That's, that was a much needed improvement.
Yep.
But other than that, the TRX-4 is just still it's a good option.
100%.
They still just have a solid truck for now. I think that it'll just keep cranking along.
Yeah, definitely. More projects. What else have I got going on? I got to do the giveaway truck. I have that to build. Yep. I have another SCX-10 III, and I've started reprinting the JL body. This one
Very
is
nice.
The proper size now. What an incredible waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, I learned a lot.
Learning
right. Is half
or just learned that you did it wrong. But other than that.
So there's that project. And then video-wise, I'm going to start filming a video on how to film tiny trucks from a photography standpoint. That's one thing that I thought would be a fun tutorial, and I'm going to be kind of going through the whole process from beginning to end of how to get a good scale photo to make it look as real as possible. That's sort of the key of this, and it's a lot of steps and a lot of thinking about how to do something like that to make it look as accurate as possible. There's a lot of planning, a lot of little tips and tricks that I'm going to give everybody, and I think it'll be a fun video to shoot. I've also got some cool effects that I'm going to do to kind of take things to the next level.
Oh, well, that'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see that.
Great. Yeah. Well, I do all these videos for you, so
yeah,
I'm glad.
And if I like them, obviously people are going to like them.
Well, yeah, maybe. Ooh, Josh likes that? Ugh. I'm not watching.
Right. Now I can hear myself on your end again.
Oh, sorry.
You did something. But
I didn't actually. Nothing changed.
Well, it definitely got louder. Yes, something changed.
Down a little bit. How about now? Better?
Yes, better.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, there's no shortage of projects still.
Oh,
I think
man.
for either.
Yeah, and it's weird because this is now, right about now, is I'm not building anymore. Build season is over. This is supposed to be outside having fun season. So, yeah, there's a lot of projects still to be done.
Yeah, and I, trying to dive in. I still actually do enjoy the live streaming stuff a lot. But once things kind of calm down, I'm sure I'll change some of that. Mm-hmm. The Friday night kit builds, I'll probably change the frequency on that at least.
Yeah, well,
because
it's probably hurting your wallet a bit too.
There's a lot of kits to build. And honestly, this weekend I don't have one yet, so.
Oh.
We'll see.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
You should build that new Tamiya 8x8 tow truck.
Oh, that thing is cool, but for some reason I feel like that's going to be another model where you got to paint 4 billion little detail pieces before you get to put it together. Not interested.
Well, I'm interested, but the price point and the scale and the application, there's three things that are kind of preventing me from getting it. I don't.
Right.
It's like
The price point is expensive.
Yeah.
But if that, I mean, obviously, this week is like, if it fit more like in line with our other trucks, then I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that price
I would not
point.
hesitate.
And then the on-road tow truck of other 12 scale on-road or 14th scale on-road. That's the hard part.
Yeah. The amount of detail doesn't bother me though. That makes me pretty happy.
Darwin's trying to help you storyboard your how to shoot scale videos. Just for his notes for your reference. How to film scale vids in 3 steps. 1, install sound kit. 2, start recording and put camera on the ground. 3, drive past.
And don't worry about editing.
Yeah, just or any cuts that you do make sure it's right after you pick up the phone still.
Right, there's a bit of movement.
It's still got a bit of the vibrate first, and then it.
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, scale videography and scale photography are 2 different subjects, but I mean, a lot of the same things apply. I'm going to do photography first, then I'll probably do videography, or I'll cover some videography in the photography video, and then there's going to be a whole other video on editing, because,
Have you thought about going, like for the first one about photography, have you thought about going to an appliance store? Like just trying all of the different washing machines out? Like, this washing machine is the best to take your scale photos on. Or this stove will actually work in a pinch. If you have this model stove, you don't have to use the washing machine.
Right. Yeah. And you convection versus like conduction, like which burner top is the best for you. Right. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do what not to shoot on. I'll cover the things of like don't do what Johnny Don't does.
Right. That's, I mean, there's so many opportunities. Mattress store. You go to a mattress store and just no sheets on a mattress, just truck there.
Make sure when you shoot your trucks from above to not wear socks.
Yeah. Straight down pictures with your feet clearly in the photo.
These are so many cold openings that you're ruining for everybody.
Right. There's just so many times. I will say I haven't I haven't got the vehicle yet that I purchased this week, but I did have quite the hard time trying to get it from the current owner, trying to get photos. Like he kept sending me photos. I'm like, dude, like you're nothing. One of the photos, I swear, he's a nice kid, and I did find out he was a younger. He's into the hobby, but he is a teenager.
Oh.
But one of the photos, I swear to God, was taken from the front seat of a car behind him to the vehicle in the back seat. I'm not, with the level of the photo quality, I'm not sure that speed was decreased at all before the photo was taken.
Oh man.
And it was like one of the photos of like, this is what I'm trying to sell you. Give me $1,000.
It was $1,000. I'm not surprised. I've spent. Oh wait, nothing. I've never spent that much on a truck.
So
I've certainly sold them for that much.
Right. If you can sell them for that much, you should be willing to buy them.
Yeah, now you've really got me thinking about all the best, worst locations to shoot.
I'm just saying.
Maybe like on the fender of another truck.
That's a pretty common one, yeah. on the hood or the bed rail of a truck.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, there's the
Tailgate.
yeah, I mean, there's so many of just the bad pictures we see every day. You know, the too far away picture, that's a classic.
Right, where the truck is like this big in the frame.
Yeah. The not centered in the photo.
Yeah.
Like, I used to yell at Dan Wilson, who I work with, all the time. He would post on Instagram, and I would go in there and go, Dan, what are you doing? I know what every inch of your backyard looks like, and the top 2/3 of your truck. Like, put it. I swear to God, he thought like taking the photo was like using his bifocals. Like he had to like tilt the camera up to get the photo.
Right.
It was, I'm going to Dan's.
There's also, I like on the bed or on the carpet of someone's room and like parts strewn around in front.
Yes.
That's good too. Nothing beats washing machine though. I think that's honestly
Washing machine's just the go-to.
Yeah, because it's a big bright space.
I'm going to screenshot this first. But so this is the photo I'm going to show you. Okay.
More to your right. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Left.
So
your other left. That's better. Yeah.
So that's the photo.
Good work, Dan.
There's 3 trucks. They're in the bottom third of the photo. The rest of it is all backyard. It's too far away to actually see anything anyway. Like, he would post something, and I would just go in there. Oh, what are you doing, Dan? Like, what is this photo? And he has consistently tried to improve on that, but there's so many of them. Like, I'm just scrolling through his feed of old photos, and they're just, and every once in a while I'm like, oh, that's a good photo. Oh, that was taken by somebody else.
Right.
Like, yep, nope, that's not his photo. That was at a race.
I think it'll be a fun series, though. I'm looking forward to putting that out because there's a lot of little tips and tricks you can do to really make these trucks look real. And it's not about fancy hardware, buying a new camera, or any of that stuff. Most of the stuff you have already is more than good enough.
Yeah, your smartphone will get you pretty good results for quite a while.
Yeah, 100%.
For one more of the things to not do, Mike J had the best. Don't film near cliffs.
Yes, that is.
Both of us almost fell into that trap. You actually failed.
I did. Well, I personally didn't fall. Right. The Capra took a pretty good spill.
Yeah, and then your loafers had to crawl down.
I was wearing Red Wing boots, which are a great work boot, but they're completely flat on the bottom, no tread whatsoever. So, not the best way to scale down a cliff.
With a completely messy workbench, another great one we see all the time. Just so much stuff around it that you can't see, and it's just like in the middle of it.
There's usually an open can or bottle of and could be alcohol, could not be, but there has to be an open can or like a half drank or 2/3 drank bottle of like Mountain Dew. It's usually a good choice.
Usually 2, one's for spit, one's for
gross.
The dip can,
I'm gonna go get my headphones. They've probably charged enough, so we can end this.
We can think of more things for you to completely ruin the photo video of. First, thank you to BT for the donation of 20 and Moose Jaw. BT $25, Moose Jaw $5 too. Appreciate it, both of you. Man, I have so many old bad photos that I could get. Got to focus on the truck on the left or right third of the lens. Simple.
Am I better now? Is that better?
You are.
Excellent.
You are.
Excellent. Back to normal.
You should just introduce the hobby to the rule of thirds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Jeremiah in here. He says, God, I'm guilty of all of this.
Well, okay, but there's a difference. There's a difference between like a posed, outside, in the environment kind of photo, and then a workbench photo. Obviously, a workbench is going to be in all states of cleanliness, so
yeah,
those are forgivable. But if it's like your final, like the truck is done, don't do it on the workbench. Take it outside.
right. Or, but honestly, most people with the messy workbench, you know what they do? They walk to the washing machine. The reason that the truck is on the washing machine is because they care enough about their photos to not take it on their workbench.
Like, this space is horrible. That is way better.
Like, you know what? I know where there's a clean spot.
BT, thanks for the 25 bones, my man, for a cameo on Friday's build. And you can be guaranteed that I'll be in my underpants. Folding up my shirts and putting them in a drawer. Losing my all sense of self and just getting on the live stream just to say something, just to correct Nicole's taste in movies.
Yesterday was Nicole's birthday.
Happy birthday to Nicole.
And we basically, hung out instead of me coming and doing anything in here, because that was the only birthday present basically that
Happy
she
birthday,
got.
Baby. I'm not playing with.
Terrible. So boring. Anyway, we're like sitting there and I'm like starting to like do my in and out of like, I'm still watching, I'm not falling asleep, because I will fall asleep instantly if I'm watching thing. Like if I'm not, I'm asleep. Unless I'm working. Anyway, so I'm like laying there like trying not to fall. I kind of like sit up a little bit. I'm like, let's rearrange the living room. So we completely rearranged moved furniture everywhere, redid it.
Yeah.
Just so I wouldn't fall asleep while watching.
Sorry, your internet just took a poop. So.
Oh, I did drop frames. You're correct.
I would like to point out for the first time ever that my stream quality is 1,000,000 times better than Josh's today. I haven't dropped any frames. So.
Yeah, mine's down to like almost no throughput.
Yeah, I win.
I keep dropping frames. Wow.
That's really strange. I'm sorry to hear that. Not really. Chris M said, Matt even hates performance when it comes to his own footwear.
That's perfect. Wow.
That is too true. Too true.
I don't.
Although I do enjoy a nice Ultra running shoe still. Got a couple of new pairs that are pretty good for walking the dog.
Nice. I'm having to. Mine completely froze. I'm trying to start and stop this.
Wow, crazy. But yeah, BT, you can rest assured I will be on Josh's live stream on Friday. The Matt signal will be activated because I got nothing better to do either. Although I am going out on Friday during the day to get a new cheese board for some friends of ours that are going back to. I know. Don't even make a face. It's made out of a nice piece of 220-year-old maple. So I'm picking it up from a nice artisan out in the country that makes these things, and they're actually a couple of U.S. citizens who have been our neighbors for the last 2 years, and they're moving back home.
That entire thing you just said.
Yeah, I know. I live a pretty fabulous life.
If you just wrote down the things that you say sometimes and then read them back.
I know.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry everyone on my side. I had to shut down Broadcaster and start it back up. I have no idea why it decided to just. YouTube wanted to stop receiving information.
Yeah, your internet signal though, like your quality of internet isn't very good. Isn't Nicole downloading pornography again, or?
Hmm. Have to be a lot of it because we have pretty good internet.
Hmm.
But
Strawberry,
hopefully everything.
strawberry bubbly, guys.
I'm on cranberry.
Cranberry. We don't have that here.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
They're really pumping the flavors. Moose Jaw, $5. Thanks, my man. Looking forward to your tricks in filming tiny trucks. I think you just titled the video, my friend.
Right. Perfect. Honestly, I do. That'd be a great video.
Big tricks for tiny trucks.
How? Yeah. Turning trick. Yeah.
That's a different show.
Turning tricks for tiny trucks. Photo tricks. How to trick.
Tiny truck photo tricks.
Yeah, you'd be right.
Whatever. I'm not having a stroke. I'm fine.
Matt hates performance so much he forgets to change his change his battery before a comp. Yes.
That also happens.
Or in headphones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, these will last at least for another hour, at which point we'll probably be done of hearing each other's voice anyway.
Yes. Yeah, that's always a possibility. We've got all of our videos planned, which we still actually just have to execute.
Yes.
I'm positive that our mayhem, it's June now. Okay.
Yep.
Early June.
Yep.
I'm positive we will be mayheming by July.
Okay.
I think that's
July, eh?
Mayhem by July. Ready for a July launch even. What's that put? Ooh, July 1st is a Wednesday.
Do we always do Wednesday Mayhem?
I always did Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, perfect. Okay, July 1st. You heard it here
1,
first.
2, 3, 4 weeks from today. So.
Okay. Well, you just have to send that email.
Right. That's all it takes.
Literally the only thing you have to do.
I know. I agree.
Yeah, I hope that works out. Somebody early on in the stream was asking how my self-driving TRX-6 was going, and it's not easy. I bit off a lot on that project, and the biggest barrier I have is being able to create a decent, strong Wi-Fi signal in a large enough area that I can actually build a test track to drive this truck around. And
so it has to constantly have Wi-Fi?
I think so, at least for the training part of it and for starting it. At least through the software and hardware that I'm using. I could have probably...
Can't you just strap your phone to it with a hotspot on it? Let it...
Yeah, but then it needs to connect to the actual host computer.
Oh, I see your issue.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Like when people go to these events, they have like a dedicated Wi-Fi signal and everybody's on it.
And, this is like a thing that multiple people do.
Yes.
With these.
Because they race against each other on a track. And it's all about the sample size of the data and how much time you've spent training the car, and then you put it on a whole new track with different, curves and turns and whatnot, and the car learns the track as it's going around it, but it needs to have all of the data available to it, and not all of that data lives on the onboard computer. So I think that if I were using a simpler vehicle,
what's your concern with the complexity of the vehicle?
Well, the size of it, for one, I think is a little bit too big to get around a reasonably sized track. That's the first problem. The second problem is the way the servos are designed in that RTR, and I would have to just kind of change everything out. the software doesn't communicate very well with the ESC, and that's what I meant to say, ESC, not the servos.
Right.
The proportion of how the stock XL5 works, there's no instant reverse,
No, there is.
There is, but I don't know. I can't get it to work in this one for whatever reason. Yeah.
This technical stuff, I get it.
It's a lot of mumbo jumbo.
You should see if you could program it with your airbrush. Knock it right out.
Yeah, I mean that's an option, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it's a very complex project. It requires me sitting down and just spending a few hours getting it working. The one time I did test it after doing a bunch of, because you can train it on software as well. You don't need to train it on an actual track. You can just train it virtually. I did a whole whack of training on this online simulator. I plugged all that data into the thing, and then I tried to test it in the basement and scared the dog because it just like shot off.
Well, that's the thing. Like if you don't have a TRX4,
it's got a lot of speed,
even in low gear, and it's got some decent speed to it. So if you're not, I mean, you should have at least put that XL5 in training mode.
Yes.
Which I'm sure you did.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, that would have cut at least 50% of your speed out of it.
But that's the thing, is that the way the throttle works, I don't even know if it recognizes that part of the XL5. Yeah, it's daunting, the amount of work required, I think, to make this work. And I built a truck that runs on Steam, so...
Yeah, exactly.
You can imagine my frustration.
You're much more of a Steam-powered personality than you are a Arduino-powered.
Yeah. The learning curve was pretty steep, I will tell you that. For me, especially.
Right.
I was like, when do I start building with the styrene on this project?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll figure it out. And if I don't, I'll swap it out of the TRX6 and do something else with it.
That's a good plan. That's a good idea. A thought train to have, at least.
Yeah. I don't want to, keep myself in that box if it's not going to fit.
Yes. Totally reasonable then.
Yeah.
But so we have the Mayhem. We've put a date on Mayhem.
Yes. It's happening.
Which is good. That'll carry us. Well, that'll wrap us up in July, basically. Because do we have 5 weeks in July? Or 5 Wednesdays in July? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Wednesdays in July.
Oh, perfect. So we're gonna try to keep it, kind of
4 and a finale.
Yeah, 4 and a finale. Yeah. Perfect. 1 month. I love it.
Yes, all within a month, which is exactly so. July will be, and then that'll give us enough time because August you've got RC 4-wheel drive East Coast, if that's
a go. Yeah.
Well, July, depending on the situation with Axial Fest, we may have to delay 1 week of that as a possibility, depending on our freedom.
Yes.
Well, your travel.
My specific travel freedom. Yeah. I'm gonna put it out there right now. It's not looking good.
Right.
In all honesty, 100% up front, I don't think it's looking good for me.
Right. So.
Which really sucks. But I get it.
It is what it is. Yeah. Not much we can do about that. But regardless, whether or not that happens, we have the ability to adjust our schedule if needed.
Totally. 100%. Yeah, we're pretty fast and loose here when it comes to scheduling.
Rules, scheduling, it's all just
Usually I love rules, but in the case of our projects together.
Right. You're just so caught up on the wording.
Yeah, I seem to I just look in the dictionary and go, okay, well, that's what that word means.
Yeah. Well, it's just, you usually have to look in the dictionary what the other meanings of that word can then sometimes mean, be interpreted ways. We have not announced what the challenge
No,
is
we
for
have
those
not.
asked
No.
challenges. Because first of all, it has to be accepted by the entity that we're sending this email to.
Correct.
Because if they turn us down for our hefty ask,
It's a big ask.
It's a big ask. If they turn us down, then we'll go to a plan B.
Yes. And
So
I think we have a plan B as well.
we do, which will add a lot more destruction. Things will be much more destructive.
Oh man.
If we go plan B.
They'll be a little more fragile.
Yeah.
Just a touch, not much though.
Yes.
In certain areas.
We'll see. So, so we get through, that'll get us through July. August is going to be, you've got RC 4 Drive East Coast, if that's
the
going
end of
on.
August, yeah.
Right. And then after that, basically got to get back into trying to build scale NATS trucks, which I'm going to be doing by myself this time. Matt's just going
to wait.
It's done.
Check out all my scale points. I got them all. Got them all again. A lot of people have asked. Yes, my wife is okay. Thank you for asking. I made a pretty hasty exit from last week's episode. She was out walking the dog, and she checked her phone. She was checking her phone, and our dog is like 65 pounds-ish, and saw an animal, a raccoon maybe, and bolted for said animal and pulled my wife straight off her feet, and she hit her head really badly on the sidewalk. She's okay. She at the time had a really nasty bump, but I went through all of the symptoms of concussion, and she seemed to not have one. Last thing you really want to do in this kind of case is go to a hospital right now. It's not really a place to be. So we were pretty confident that she was going to be okay. She had a pretty bad scrape on her elbow. Otherwise, the bump is gone. She's got a little pain left in that area, but no serious long-term effects. She was doing some crazy math in her head. So she was like 14 times 30 or like 25 times 18. And I'm just like, she's spewing out the numbers. I'm like, I better get my calculator.
That's right.
Yeah. You're fine. You're fine.
You were just trying to see if she was being nice to Pam or not. That's the only way I know how.
Yeah, so she's totally cool. Thank you very much, everybody, for asking. And it was really nice to get a lot of comments and messages from people. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Question here was talking about what hobby shops are open in your area. Like up here in our area, our hobby shops are open currently. Mm-hmm. They're very, set up for the less interaction, with, I don't know, what do they call them? Those contact shields or?
Yeah, like
they're not sneeze guards. That's just,
we're not in a salad bar.
Right, exactly. Those we're never going to have again, evidently.
No.
So ours are set up with that. They've stayed open and busy, and so
that's good.
Some others not too far from here were set up for call in order, things like that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them had like their own online shopping cart system stuff set up, so a lot of them were just set up for call in.
Yes, most in our area are curbside pickup or order online and they'll ship to you as normal. But yeah, my local place where I go, I make I would email or call them in advance and then just go pick everything up.
Yeah. So that was, we were, I don't know what you want to call it. Our circumstances were that ours stayed open, lucky, unlucky, whatever it is. I'm glad that they were able to stay open, stay in business, and hope, hobby shops have it tough enough with
Oh man,
you know,
totally.
current markets that I just, no matter who small business owner is, I hope that they can weather the circumstances. So
Yeah, it's hard out there for any small business, really.
yeah,
Most of the restaurants in our neighborhood, if they were like medium to high end and they relied on people coming in, they're all really suffering. Most of the smaller places, which kind of relied on takeout, are actually doing okay. And we have a
right.
special night, like every Wednesday is supposed to be the night where you order in. Oh, we didn't do that tonight. Shoot. But we did in the last couple weeks just to sort of help out.
Yeah, that's, you know, we we had been ordering in fairly regularly here, but then we decided to get back onto our fancy diet this week. So
Nerd.
that's probably going to stop, which sucks.
What do you got? You have like a boiled chicken breast and a handful of
Pretty.
saltine crackers, or
Get no saltines, no grains.
oh shoot! So you gotta have like a tofu based
No,
cracker.
I think tofu has preservatives in it, so no.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Bummer.
it's a lot of just fresh food.
Okay.
A lot of chicken, a lot of fresh food.
Neat.
Good and good for you.
Oh, good. Oh, Dave Zilla was saying that he works at a local hobby shop close to us here, and he says that they're running reduced hours, but the store is open for limited customers.
Yep, yeah, limited capacity stuff seems to be pretty common in a lot of places.
Yeah. I think the supply chain is what's going to start affecting a lot of these stores too, right?
That has been a problem in the hobby industry as a whole right now. There was a big problem with getting electronics out of China.
Mm-hmm.
That was greatly affected. So, for instance, you'll see, there's been a big hurt on a lot of hobby wing products.
Right.
Try getting a 1080 right now.
Right.
That's been difficult. A number of just of parts out of China have been very hard hit. And then depending on the factory that they're being produced in and so they were down they closed for their normal month for Chinese New Year,
mm-hmm.
and then they were closed, say, an extra month or whatever. Well, if whatever factory they were using, if the most important customers likely weren't RC, especially if they weren't super high volume, so their stuff is going to just keep getting pushed down the list until that they can get to them. And when they do, that's a whole nother thing. And then it also had pretty big economic effects in China. So a lot of these companies are now, say, asking for money up front rather than giving a company terms, which honestly, a lot of hobby companies don't have the cash flow to do. They're relying on buying something and then selling it and then trying to get that money to pay for it. So
yeah, I think John Schultz summed it up best. He said it sucks.
Yeah,
it does. It sucks.
So so it's just those effects are going to come through, and yeah. I think eventually that stuff will come back to a normalcy. Mm-hmm. But I also think that we will see certain companies not be able to weather that storm. RC companies that you may know.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Yep. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's going to be sort of an interesting time for hobbyists to start learning how to, do more with less. Reuse stuff, look through your parts bin. There's, hold on to your parts trees.
Hold on to your parts trees. I think more than anything, don't maybe you should hold on to some of those takeout ESCs.
Right.
If you're I think you can still get some of the higher end ESCs and things like that. But if you want the cheap ESC, that's, those takeout ESCs may be worth something right now. You might be able to get some money out of them.
Yeah, exactly. I've got some really nice Tamiya ESCs here if anybody wants them.
Oh, nice. Still got the Tamiya plug.
Oh, yes. Why would I cut those off? You got to keep those.
So, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Oh, actually, it looks like some 1080 stuff is coming back in places. Some people they're actually like they're just starting to hit.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Well, it's like the cam links, right? Those are starting to come up back into stock now
Yes.
too. That's one of the pieces that Josh and I both use, and Josh was kind enough to send me one of his, so I could do this live stream on the new PC.
Yeah.
But that's like a big, huge thing. Like the amount of people that are streaming now, whether it be video game streaming or stuff like this, that market exploded in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And
And
the markups that people are asking for, like I was able to find one locally, but the guy was charging nearly double what it's worth.
which is on the low side of what people were
Yeah.
trying to. These little pieces that we use, it's called a cam link from a company called Goto. And basically it allows you to take the HDMI out from your, like I run a mirrorless camera, and I have a second camera above me here, which is another DSLR. And you take the HDMI out and you plug it into one of these cam links, and then it allows you to bring it into your computer as an input. Well, those are $130 normally, and I run 2 of them. Now they were asking $400 locally for anybody who had one. They're like, ooh.
Yeah, like easy money.
Yeah. So I sent Matt my second camera one for now. So
Yes, I've got one on order, and it should be here soon, I presume. And then I'll send this one back, and I'll buy a second one so I can do the double setup, because there is a new vlogger dedicated sort of camera that came out from Sony, and I like the Sony mirrorless stuff, and that's the plan, is to get a second camera, sort of like I had for a little while where I was doing the webcam and then this camera. Just want to have a nice bench view as well, so you can actually see what I'm working on and actually kind of do stuff in real time like Josh does with his live streams. That's the plan.
yeah, it's nice to have the ability to, and just gives you a little bit of flexibility. I think it works out pretty well. I like having the dual camera setup, or sometimes I'll have the third camera with my webcam just for some stuff, but there's always a use for one thing or another.
Yep.
The streaming stuff is just kind of fun.
It is totally fun, and it makes me want to try doing other stuff. And I'm totally serious about this. I wouldn't have attempted or tried to do any of it with my Mac system, just because the level of complexity of getting a Mac to do all of the things that this PC is doing very easily, it just kind of was like, I'm not even going to bother. But now it's like, maybe I could do like a live photo editing video, or I could do like a live video editing video on how to edit tiny truck videos, or like there's a bunch of things that I wouldn't have considered doing before that I definitely want to do now.
Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff you should jump into, because I think it would be cool.
Yeah. It's something different. It's a different aspect of this hobby that I think people would really enjoy to watch, be a part of.
Yeah, and that's along the same lines as why I wanted to do the CAD stuff live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is really cool. I unfortunately, Sunday nights I'm not on the internet very often, but when I check in on those, you're doing some pretty cool stuff. And
it's just, CAD is becoming more and more, or it's, you can get it for free now. Right. It was one of those things that just wasn't a free thing ever in the past.
Cost a lot of money.
A lot of money, or you had to go about getting it in, unscrupulous ways.
Right, less than legal ways.
Right, which that's what people had to do usually to try and, when I was learning, I was lucky enough to be in college, and I could get it that way, even though I wasn't in a class for it. I could get it. But now people can understand that it's not that hard once you just kind of get past that initial like outside look of just opening a blank document and being like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
Like that's the worst thing. Like even sometimes when I have a project in mind, I open a document, it's just like it's blank, and you're just like, like you gotta, all right, what am I gonna actually start with?
Yeah, that is a big challenge. I know that you and I on some Sunday afternoons, you're like, what am I gonna make this week?
Yeah, like what am I gonna draw in 35 minutes? Like
Yeah.
so this is one Lane on here had just posted that he has MicroStation from work, and which is funny because MicroStation is not a CAD program that almost anybody else would know. It's
Huh.
a almost 100% civil engineering based program.
Oh, no kidding. So right up your alley.
But that's what I used every day for 10 years.
Right.
And that's what MicroStation is the program that I drew all of my 3D CAD templates in for the chassis. And not because it was the best one, but because I could work on it with like a full project open.
Right. You could just kind of like over here, I'm working on this.
So
Over here.
you can have like multiple windows open. So it'd be like I'd have all these windows open of within one document. So you have like different viewed areas. And I would just like have another one open. And I'd just be like working in that one little window. And like anybody comes, they just turn around, look angry, like what?
Unlike
Like, trying to get this striping plan done.
unlike Meredith, who just constantly has solitaire open on her computer.
Right. So, almost whatever you have, it'll get the job done.
Oh, totally.
I don't know. I don't remember if MicroStation would export to STL. At least, I think the last version I was using was like V8i, but still, good old MicroStation.
Wow.
Really, really honing into my viewership.
It sounds like a pretty cool tool. What else? What else we got going on? Oh, look. Hey, this is kind of good. I actually painted the Trekker body.
The Unimog Trekker body?
Trekker.
Or wait, no.
Toyota Trekker. Let me turn the camera on here.
So,
look.
What is a Toyota Trekker?
A Toyota Trekker is a Hilux. This is before the 4Runner was available. So there was a Trekker and a Trailblazer. The Trekker was a conversion done by Winnebago. So,
I remember watching a little thing about that.
So the front half, the cab was from Toyota, and then Winnebago would buy the truck, cut off the rear bed, and put on this fiberglass replacement. So this was an all one piece fiberglass replacement.
Oh, the bedsides and everything.
And then it would be like a full-on 4Runner before there was a 4Runner, because it was like complete pass-through, and there'd be a second set of seats in the back here. And
right.
Yeah, that would have been your 4Runner-ish.
I do remember. I think I watched an episode of like Up to Speed or something like that on that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's painted now in a sort of a graphite-y color, because I'm replicating a truck that really exists. This was a resin pop done by Richard, pardon my noob, and then I finished it, and hopefully this will be done soon. I mean, it's only been 2 years since I started this one.
Yeah, that seems reasonable, but
my life. I get, shiny, and then I go and I do something else. So.
Yeah, that sounds about, I will just be obsessed with a project and just focus on it.
Yeah.
But then once I lose that,
it's done.
Chances of me coming back to it is way less. That's why, it's like I'm usually like, I'm done with that. I'm selling it.
That's generally what happens to you.
The one that I do want to get back. I do want to get back to my Class 2 Jeep. The one that's here in my hand. But
yeah,
that I want to get back to that one. I need to get that thing finished up.
You're not going to sell
My thought
it, eh?
is that no, I think I'm going to keep. What I think I'm going to do though is I'm going to get that one finished up. I think I'm going to have another body like actually painted for it by somebody who is familiar with holding a paint can. Brandon painted that one for me.
Oh.
So it still came out better than what I would have painted.
God,
and
yes.
that's probably the body that I'll run, like when I actually go out and drive it normally. But I think I'd like to have one done for nationals with like a
real paint job.
Something fancy. Something real fancy.
Are you getting Suits to do it again?
Most likely.
Okay. I need to chat with him because I thought he was going to do a Nova body for me. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've got. So I want to get that done. I have to find one of those bodies again, which shouldn't be a problem.
No.
And then I need to get my enormous Unimog painted.
Yeah, I'm keen to see that project come together.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and work on my carrier bearing setup.
Oh, because the drive shaft needs to be super long.
Right, and I just don't want it to hang down and have all the drive shaft wobbles.
Get the
wobble.
RC 4-wheel drive makes like a 9-inch drive shaft.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. I was close. Look, that's 9 inches right there. Wait, no, that's centimeters. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw this, be it easy. We're just gonna use some axial wild bores.
Yeah.
One additional drive shaft, and we're gonna be set.
I love it. I like a good carrier bearing.
Yeah, Proline is coming out with a new tire. We did talk about that comp tire, which I am excited for.
Somebody was like, surprised to see you posting that on the Scale Builders Guild. I was like, it's gonna go on the Capra.
Right. I think, no matter, we can still be excited. I post, drag racing stuff.
Yeah. I'm a scale builder. If the tire works for the right application, I'll probably like it.
Right.
Body Skywalker wants to know what that is on Josh's bench. That is an SCX 24 Chevrolet Cave. I don't know. What do they call that? The C10? Even though the C10.
Well, I think they call it a C10, even though it should be a K10.
Two-wheel drive.
Right. And so, but I got the one with the crawlers on it, obviously.
That's what I have on the Jeep conversion. I got to talk to Randall because I need some parts for that.
Are these tires way smaller than the Nittos that come on the Jeep?
Oh, yes. Much smaller.
They are, huh?
It's the more scale accurate of the SCX 24s.
Right. That's going to be, I'm going to have to think about that. I wanted this one because it came with the crawlers.
Yeah.
But I guess I have to look into what performance tires there are for 124 scale. Is there? Does anybody make better tires?
RC 4-wheel drive makes some. I think they're the 1-inch.
Are they better, or are they just different?
Well, they've got Super Swampers. I know that for sure. I think they do the MTRs as well.
Mamba X or Castle, or Mamba X or Tekin RX4. I always have a hard time with that. I can never choose, so I always have both.
I like both as well. There's good things about both of them.
Yeah. My recent settings in the RX4 make me really like my RX4s.
Oh, send me those. I want them.
Okay. That's my currently with how my RX4 is set up, I really like it.
All right.
So it's so smooth. But I like the adjustability on the auxiliary channel on the Castle way more than the Tekin side.
Yes. Although the Bluetooth hot wire.
I haven't tried the Bluetooth hotwire. I have the B-Link from Castle.
Yeah, both of those are great.
I do like that ability.
I like nerding out on my phone. Pressing the buttons on my phone.
Now that you have a PC in the shop there, you'll be able to just plug it in now.
I forgot about that. That's like the best part of this. Thank you again, EVGA. That's I forgot. I'm going to install that software right now.
Yeah, good call.
Castle Link.
What isn't Josh a snob of? Tires, axles, no brass, and so on.
Oh boy.
Like, I just want to make sure that the tires are better if I'm changing them. That's so low. Well, down in the SoCal area, they have a mini or micro crawler little competition league that they evidently get pretty serious about.
Cool.
Jordan Pellegrino, he's one of the guys I always see them posting about it. So I don't want to show up to it, with a knife to a gunfight, right? So
You'd never be that.
We got work to do. I refuse to be that guy. I want to show up and know that I've got a fighting chance.
Exactly. Definitely.
Listen, if I can't do it with technology and parts purchasing ability, and I only have to go on skill,
you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So, research and research, technology, and spending money. Those are, I can.
John Schultz wants to know if you're going to run it on 4S.
It's not a terrible idea.
How small a 4S battery do you think you could find?
Well, I think I could just find 4 1S batteries.
Right. Just tape them together.
I've got all my tiny whoop batteries. I'm just going to series them in. It's going to be ready to go.
Oh, man. Thing's going to fly further than your flying car.
Those little, we're going to see how hot those little worm gears get.
Think of the drag brake.
Yeah. Instant. So this one, like I said, does not have an ESC or a radio. No ESC, no receiver.
Man.
So I'm going to put in I'm sure, way too nice of an ESC.
Of course.
Because, I don't know what you buy for micro ESCs.
I don't know either. I'm not even sure what your choices would be.
I don't know. I mean,
I guess you could put
I'm not gonna put
micro Mamba X in there.
I think I've got some of those.
You could just take the case out. No, take the case off of it. You'll be fine.
They're still, these are still pretty good size, I think.
He's just, okay, everyone, he's got one in a box still. He's just got stuff hanging around.
I have electronics here for when I have a build.
I'm usually buy the kit first and then go, oh man, I don't have any of the stuff I need.
Gotta have an RX-4, Castle, a Mamba X, a Micro X. I've got 1060s, 1080s. What else do you need? Do you need a bunch of servos?
Yes.
And more servos? We got, here's a new, what is this? This is a 1060. Ooh, this is a Dynamite AE5L.
Wow.
With the whatever plug they call this, IQ
E470.
Yeah.
IC3.
I got it.
And I'm not gonna call out any company, but there's a company that posts very late at night on social media, and I don't know why that is.
That seems weird. Are they from a different country?
Cough. Axial.
Do they post late at night?
Yeah. It's always around 11:30.
Weird.
Seems late. Seems late.
Yeah,
for
this
the feed.
seems so much too big.
Take the case off of it.
Isn't it potted? It's still not the worst size. Maybe I'll use that.
You could take the case off of it. It's overkill, but when have you ever been one to not overdo it?
Yeah. Maybe that'll work. Well, it saves me from having to buy something new.
True enough. My electronics bin is a little less full than that, but I'm sure I have, I've always got a Mamba or an RX-4 sitting around, I think. But it's always used,
good.
Not in a box.
Well, yeah, sometimes, if I've got one available like that, I'm not going to get one to wait on it. This truck is a little too small for me to get my hand under. Like,
That's
just doesn't
rich.
work.
Ooh,
Holmes VR Mini. I might have one of those.
That would work too.
That's a good call.
That would work.
Oh, you know what I think? I think I have one of those. I think I have one of those in one of the old Horizon micros. What was theirs called?
I don't remember.
Not Ascender. Definitely not the Ascender.
Are you talking about the Mini
Barrage?
That's not a micro. They have a micro Barrage?
Yeah, it's basically this size.
Oh. Huh.
I have one of those somewhere, and I'm pretty sure I have a VR Mini in it.
Huh.
See?
There you go.
We're ahead.
You're ahead of the game.
All right. Let's call this thing.
All right. This was a good one, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Much appreciated. Hope that you're staying well wherever you are in the world. Yeah. I guess we'll do this again next week.
At this point, we're still playing it on.
Yeah. It's fun.
It is fun. As much for me as for them. So
totally.
It's all about me.
It's always all about the Josh. As
right.
Nicole would probably attest to.
She would. She would be the first to agree.
Well, thanks everybody. Much appreciated. Stay safe out there, and we will see you again next week.
Next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place.
The Matt Signal.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.